Hi, this is Janet Wakeland with RemarkablyCreated.com and the Remarkable Stampers. In today's edition of My Digital Studio Monday, we're going to create this page together. This is a 12 by 12 page, so the place that you're going to start is you're going to open your My Digital Studio, and then you're going to open a project, and you're going to select 12 by 12 as your project that you're going to work on. I have a blank page here, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and work on, and you see a couple of other pages along the side that just showing you my cooking show variety pages kind of ready to go in the oven. So let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and start with a photo, and I'm going to start with a photo that is 10 inches by 12 inches. And you can see along the top that I have a ruler, and I'm going to take this out to 10 inches. And then I'm just going to take it all the way down to the bottom. I always go just a hair off the edges you saw there. And let's go ahead and find the photos. One of the things that I love about My Digital Studio is it works with the photos that are on my computer. I don't have to load a special folder of photos that I want to work with. It just works with what's already there. And when I take this photo and drag it over, let's find it here for a second. When I take this photo and drag it over to the page, it leaves the original in the folder intact, untouched. So now I could make this sepia, black and white, or whatever, and I'm not ruining my original. So I love that feature of My Digital Studio. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a strip of designer series paper. And there are two different ways to do that. Actually, there are 3 or 4 different ways to do that. The two that I like to work with the most is I like to work with either a punch and filling it with paper. As you can see, paper fill is a choice here. Or I like working with a photo box. And when you work with a photo box, you have the option of rounding your corners, any and all of the corners, and you have the option of ripping the edges. So sometimes if you want those features on your designer paper, the layers of paper that you're doing, you might want to pick a photo box. But today we're going to work with a punch, and we're going to fill it with some of my new favorite paper, and it's called Venetian Romance. And you can see here a lot of the different pieces. Venetian Romance is actually available as traditional designer series paper as well, so that's great. The next thing, let me just make this just a little longer. I always like to go, again, just a little off the edge of the paper, is I want to add stitching. So we're going to come over here under our embellishments, and I'm going to go ahead and find my stitching. And let's open that up. And I want white, and so everything is alphabetical. Let me come back up here just a little bit. Went too far. Oops. I think this is, oh, it'll work. Okay, so now I want this to be 12 inches long. I'm going to double click on it. And actually, I'm going to do 12.02 just because I don't want to keep the proportions, okay? Because I want the stitches to get a little bit wider. I'll rotate that right. And now I'm going to go ahead. Oops. No, not the photo. The stitching. Of course, you know, computer's always going to act up when you're trying to wow people and impress people. So I'm just going to put that stitching over there. I can drop shadow it to make it pop just a little bit more, so I can go ahead and add that stitching. The next thing that I want to do is I want to add my photos, and we'll come back up here. I had 2 more smaller photos. Oh, Jan. 2 more smaller photos, and they are 3.5 by 3.5 inches. So we're just going to bring that up just like that. And because there are 2 of them, I'll just copy and paste, save myself some time. Just like that. And let's come back over here now and get the photos that I want to work with. And here's one of them. We'll drop that in. You can see the box changed colors. I can slide it over. And then the next one that I want to work with, I'll pick that up and drop that in. Just like so. And now the next thing that I want to do is I want to add a frame around them. And I do know that I worked with the candid photos, so let me just type in candid here and wait for the candid frames to come up. I can also look for them over here under embellishments, or I could have typed the word frames in, and everything that I have that is, there we go, snapshot frame, that is a frame would come up. So let's just go ahead and close that. And now we're going to bring that up over. This is one of the frames that I really like to work with because I get to alter it on 3 sides. I can go ahead and I can make it a rectangle. Okay, so I can pull it from different directions. So I like working with it for that reason. So let's just go ahead and get back. Oops. And we're just going to bring it forward just like that. And down. Okay, so now I have my photo. Oops, just a little bit more because I didn't want peeking out the bottom. So now I have my photo, and I would do the same thing to this photo right here. And you can see, again, then that I went ahead and tipped them. Okay, so that's there for you. So now let's go ahead and we're going to add some of our embellishments to this. So let's start first with a chevron and just show you again how the search feature works. I did use the chevrons from Follow Your Bliss. That's one of my new favorite kits that Stampin' Up! Has available. They do have individual chevrons. They also have full kits so that you can buy kits that have paper and embellishments and pieces in them. They're wonderful. And the nice thing about our kits is you can see here that the individual pieces are available for use. And so I typed in the word chevron, but I also knew it was from Follow Your Bliss, so I could have typed that in and I would have had those to work with. And so let's just separate my two chevrons here. And we'll make this one a little bit bigger. And we're going to put that one right over top on the stitching. And this one we're going to bring over here. We'll rotate it right. Oops. We're going to make it a little larger as well too. And now one of the nice things, I've got this one highlighted. You can see I've got the squares around it. I'm going to highlight this one as well. And now I'll just color them both at one time because I know I want them to be white. So we'll just go ahead and we'll color them just like that. Another, let's type the word in get and see if it comes up. Sometimes you want something that has words in it. So like I know I want the get going. Or you want something so together will come up because G-E-T is in it. Merry Christmas will have the word G-E-T in there somewhere in that Bah Humbug place. Get inspired, get well soon. And so you're going to go ahead and you're going to see where something similar will come up as well when you're trying to find something sometimes that you're trying to work with specifically. So let me come down here. And let's add this label from Get Going, and I love this. This is another wonderful one that I have to play with. This Get Going set is another one of my absolute favorite ones. And let's just pull in Get Going just like that, and let's close this. And this one here, let's just make a little bit bigger. And we'll just grab the sides and we'll just slightly turn it. And you're going to see that that was the one, and I just colored it. That was the one that I used to hold the two photos together. So we just went ahead and made it gray, so I wanted it to have a little bit of a metallic look. Now this Get Going one, I did something fun with that. And let's go ahead and just bring it down here just a little bit. Get the size the one I want. Let's go ahead and open up our coloring tool. And what I did with this one is let's go ahead, Bermuda Bay. If you hover just over it, it'll tell you what the color is. And let's just go ahead and color that, Bermuda Bay. And then let's pick Crushed Curry. I love Crushed Curry and Summer Starfruit. They are two of my favorite yellows to work with. Now I can adjust the brush size, so if I have bigger areas that I want to cover, I can do that. If this is hard for you to see, you can always make the image a little bigger as well too. When you click OK, it just reverts to the size that you had. Now the get's not showing up very well, so what I went ahead and did there was, let's just take our little square punch, and we're just going to make it a little smaller, and we'll just size it right over top of the word get. And now let's go ahead and fill that with white. Hit OK. And we're just going to bring the Get Going forward. And now the punch is behind the get, going ahead and allowing that to pop and to show up for you. A couple of other things that I added. I'm not going to go ahead and find all the pieces for you because now it's just a matter of layering. You saw how we added the two photos. Is the Live in the Now. We colored it the exact same way. You can't see the white because I did color it with white. But if you enlarge it, you can see, again, how I colored the sides and the in the. When you hit OK, it's back to its original size. I have hexagons that I added here. The other thing that's on here that we added is a heart, the little people, and the little arrow. The little people is from a kit called All Time Fave, and let's just put that in here so you can see some of the pieces from All Time Fave. I love all of the options. Again, it's another kit. But when you buy a kit, the pieces are available for you to use on any other project. They are not locked down. So you can see just all of the pieces, arrows and images and banners and little books. Oh, you name it. Lots and lots of fun stuff that are part of that. So that's where a lot of those pieces came from. So I used the Get Going, Follow Your Bliss, All Time Fave as a lot of what I have here on the page. Once you get it done, what you want to do is you're going to want to view your project. And so we're going to click view. It'll ask if you want to save it. I'm just going to say no because I'm not sure yet. And we're just going to do page by page. And it's going to allow you, it's going to pop it up away from the screen so that you can look at it and decide whether you like it like that or not. So now you can just slide it forward and back and forth just a little bit. So do you like it and are you happy with it? If so, you can click OK. Come up here and then you can share it. So you can export your pages. You can print them. You can export them to print from your own printer. You can go ahead and export them as a JPEG so that you can post them like I did on my blog post. You can export them as a PDF. The other thing is up here under Check Project. This is where you'll be able to generate a project supply list. And you can, if you're wanting to share your list with your friends and family, you can simply just copy and paste this and put it into a Word document or a PDF document, and you'll have that for you. So again, it looks like a really, really fancy page, but it's just a matter of playing and adding the elements that you have. And then the final thing, I'm sorry, I missed this part of this, is I went ahead and I added their names. I added Kristen and Nate's names to this. And I did that with a font that I love. It's C.K. Alley's hand lettering font. Again, My Digital Studio does not have its own fonts. It works with any of the fonts that you have loaded on your computer. So it accesses any of those fonts, any of the TrueType fonts that you have there. So any of those great free fonts that you're seeing out there, you can go ahead and access, and then you can change the size, the styling, you can space them, you can align it differently, change the color, match the color, even drop shadow them. You can even reverse it if it was something that you were wanting to print. And so you could do a mirror image so that it comes out right when you're ironing it. So again, nice, simple, clean page that was really fun use of a very large photo and then calling attention to two more photos and putting stamped images right on the page. So I hope you have a lot of fun creating with My Digital Studio. I look forward to sharing more My Digital Studio Monday videos with you, and I have a whole bunch of older ones at www.remarkablycreated.com. Have an awesome day, and God bless you.